Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Tuesday. And I think all this week we're going to be talking about determination, not giving up, and pressing on, even when it's tough to press on. I'm back in 2 Corinthians in chapter 11, where the Apostle Paul is just giving us a litany of all the hardships he had to go through in his life to do what God had called him to do. And it ends up becoming this reminder to you and I that if Paul can go through that and emerge victorious, so can I. And I want you to notice here in verse 29, he says, "Who is weak and I am not weak? Who is made to fall and I am not indignant?" This is on the heels of talking about shipwrecks and being beaten and being cast away all throughout his ministry as an apostle. And he then says, who's weak and I'm not weak? And we said yesterday, this is the idea that sometimes you got to remember that there's always somebody going through it worse than you. And if they can keep going, so can you. A good friend of mine, Dudley Rutherford, Shepherd Church, huge, big old church in Los Angeles. And I went to preach for Dudley about a year ago, and Dudley called me and says, "Ricky, how did it go?" And I says, "Brother, God's just blessing you and your church. And I can't imagine my church one day being like your church. How did you do it?" And I'll never forget the day Dudley looked back and said, "Ricky, the only thing I did was not quit. And if you keep on being faithful and if you don't quit, God's going to give you even more than what he gave me." I think it's a reminder that staying faithful to what God told you to do, even when it feels like you're failing, is wisdom for all of us. And sometimes, some way, even when God allows us to be backed up into a corner, he uses that to spur us on. You may feel like you're backed up into a corner today, but just make up your mind that you're not gonna quit. You're going to press on. It's Don't Quit Week at Hope for Today. And that's Hope for Today. I'll see you next time.